episode 12 of the Mainly Wrestling Show. We've not been here for a while. I'm still Jack Milner. She's still Lissy Almeida. He's debatably John Jacobs. And yeah, we're here to look at we're going to have a look at the AEW episode of Dynamite Grand Slam from, I can't believe it was a year ago, where the American Dragon and Kenny Omega stole the show at Arthur Ashe Stadium. Lissy, what have you done in the last 12 months apart from becoming part of the business, brother?
Let's see. My hair is a little lighter than it was when we first reviewed this.
The Romans.
There's a lot of change.
JJ and I got very British teeth by comparison.
Stop it. This is
God, have you had a good 12 months?
Yeah, no, I had a very good 12 months. Thank you. I don't know what I've been doing. I've been corresponding, doing some ring
flying around the world, Lissy.
Flying around the world. I mean, not around the world, just like this hemisphere.
John, has wrestling had a better match since Danielson Omega?
Yeah, maybe Danielson Hangman.
The 60-minute match?
Essentially. But like, if there's any challenges, it's Danielson, right? Because he's the best wrestler in the world right now.
I mean, it's a bold claim. Do you think Danielson is going to win the title on Wednesday?
I do, but what's throwing me off is that they're building to MJF Moxley, but I really think it's Danielson because it seems to be like they've given him the tougher route. He's beating all the former champions, and it's mirroring stuff in ROH and WWE, right, where Punk disappears and suddenly Danielson gets a shot with the belt.
Well, the summer of Punk in 2009, actually well alluded to today, loses the belt to James Gibson, who then signs a WWE contract pretty much a week after winning the ROH World title. Danielson beats him and cuts a big promo saying, "I'm not going anywhere. This belt represents wrestling freedom." And he's the best world champion of all time then, with his 15-month reign. But yeah, the fact that he's beaten the three past champions, that is either saying it perfectly, or that is a brilliant Tony Khan red herring. That would be such a TK thing to do. And
like people that he lost to, right? Like lost to Hangman.
Yeah, lost a feud to Hangman. Yeah, lost a feud to Kenny.
Lost to Moxley before joining the Blackpool Combat Club, didn't he?
When Regal came and slapped the shit out of both of them, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the
and obviously
don't say it.
And lost to Jericho at the last pay-per-view. So he's like avenging all those losses, beating all these former champions. Kind of feels like it's the moment, but then I don't understand the MJF Mox stuff. Maybe then that's a feud that they have at the upcoming pay-per-view before MJF takes the title. I don't know how it's going to go. It feels like if Mox wins it, then he's just going to lose it to MJF at the next pay-per-view.
Isn't Mox bulletproof? Like Mox can't do anything.
Yeah,
Mox sure,
but then it's like you don't want to keep having all these asterisks next to his name. Obviously, his first title run was amazing, and then this year he's had interim title, and then like
fucking hate interim titles.
and then lost it like pretty much straight away as soon as Punk came back.
Joke.
Yeah, well, I don't have a problem with the interim title. I know some people don't like it, but it's whatever to me. Like I don't have an issue with the stories that it builds alongside it, and they've set this precedent that the interim champion can beat the returning champion when they come back with Punk and Moxley, but you don't want to keep having Moxley lose these huge spots. But do you want him to win the title and then lose it at the next pay-per-view to MJF? Because it does feel like it's going to MJF, right? I mean, he's going to win that by hook or by crook with the firm, so...
But on that point, is MJF more of a made man if he beats Moxley for the title as opposed to Danielson, right? Ric Flair coined the phrase, "To be the man, you got to beat the man."
Yeah.
Danielson beats Moxley, Danielson's the man. Like it doesn't. I don't think either of those are. I don't think you turn around and go, "Well, he only beat Bryan Danielson." No, Danielson's a fucking killer. So if he beats him, he's going to beat him. And the thing is, he's not going to win it clean. Like there's going to be shenanigans however he goes about it. So
there's always shenanigans.
Listen, this has been a big 12 months for AEW, right? If you think where they were, the fact that they sold out this place, right, in Vince's back garden in New York, how do you think the company's changed in 12 months? Have they regressed? Do you think the momentum they had This time, what, last year, they just signed Punk, they signed Danielson, Cole had debuted at the big pay-per-view, big stadium, Kenny's the world champion, and we've had this big incident
Well,
that none of us have discussed yet.
it's okay. You want to talk about the incident first so
Bored
that
of
we
it.
can kind of
Just to
like,
make comparison, if with your business head on, 12 months, year to year, has the company gone backwards?
damn.
It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I don't think as a business, as a company, they've gone backwards. If you look at the rosters between the 2 years, I don't think you can say they've gone backwards. All they've done is added a shit ton of stars. The problem that they've got is that creatively they're struggling to fit all these stars in, and then they're messing up storylines. They're trying to put too much into things, and I think that they've lost some of the momentum that they had as this huge company. And at the same time, all this crazy stuff has happened on the other side, and Triple H and all of that are gaining momentum. So it's tough. But then you look at the ratings. Without Punk, without the Elite, without Kenny Omega, they got their biggest rating in a year last week on Dynamite. They've still got huge names there. You put in Danielson and Jericho in the main event, they smashed the rating, they smashed the demo. So what can you say? At the end of the day, if both companies are doing well, then as wrestling fans, that's what we want to see. Like, people on Twitter are still going to go AEW in the mud, WWE in the mud. Like, who cares really? Like, if you're enjoying whatever wrestling you're watching, and there's a lot of great wrestling out there to watch, then happy days as wrestling fans. That's the way I see it.
It's very interesting. Impact of the minute of their record low ratings, I think, for the past 3, 4, 5 years. So that's worrying for the time there. But yeah, you mentioned momentum-wise. WWE at the minute, if you compare where they were 12 months ago, is it just like a comparison thing, right?
Yeah.
I think it's a great Family Guy sketch where, Peter gets someone to stand next to Meg, who's ugly. Hey, Meg, you get less ugly? Like, the thing is, WWE was so bad this time last year, right? That AEW is like, holy shit, look at these guys over here. Now, Papa H is working wonders with the main roster and trying to put things, rebuild the legitimacy of the mid-card titles and, say the words wrestling and yada yada.
And it hasn't taken much for him to do that either. Like, it within 1 month, he had already brought back people that people wanted to see. He had already reestablished the prestige of the U.S. title, Intercontinental title. I mean, just having the Intercontinental belt on Gunta is building that, right?
The workers' title, yeah, we know. That's my childhood, yeah. Brett, Mr. Perfect, whatever, yeah.
Exactly. But to go back to the original question, if AEW is doing better or worse, I think it depends on who you ask. But I also think it depends on how you interpret the question, right? Because how JJ said, creatively, they're going backward. Creatively, they're going backward.
I disagree.
Talent-wise, they have continued to build their roster, but in building that roster, what are you building with them? Nothing, really. Like, handful of people.
More problems.
Boom, there it is. Say nothing.
I mean, I saw a point which was made, like, Tony Khan said all along, he knew who the first 4 champions were going to be. It was always going to be Jericho, Moxley, Omega, Hangman. And you imagine Punk comes in, like CM Punk becomes available, like, got to put the belt on Punk because it's CM Punk. And then suddenly CM Punk get there, give it to Moxley. He's the guy, right? And then, okay, Punk's back, give it to him. Punk's now gone. Shit, what do we do?
But that was like such a monkey wrench. To be honest, I'm not saying that there's no place for CM Punk in AEW. I don't want it to come across as that, because I think that there could be a place for him to come back. But it has to be done very delicately, especially given the interview and how he left and the fight and all the backstage drama. Because like somebody like him that comes in, you expect them to be a locker room leader, right? Is he or was he behaving that way?
I mean, it's really contentious, right? I love Punk. I love FTR.
I do too.
I'm on
but
that side. The thing is, it's very hard, given what's reportedly, allegedly, gone on.
allegedly.
If this was Jim Crockett Promotion of 1986, it's a different time, but they would all put their heads together and make a shitload of money out of this, and put their business heads on and go, regardless how we feel about each other personally, there is money to be made from this angle. However, it's just 2022, people are a bit more sensitive.
Too many egos, too many feelings.
Too many feelings. Jim Cornette says, "What the fuck's feelings got to do? It's the wrestling business."
I think that these guys may have done that, but the fact that Punk is out for the next 6 to 8 months, will it fall away by that point? If other things, going to be bigger and more important, will they still need Punk in 6 to 8 months? Does Tony Khan just say,
"Fuck off"?
I don't. How old is he? He's in his 40s. Like, how many years is he realistically got left? Who's he going to put over? He's already buried like half of the people in the back. Like, are people going to want to work with him?
And
does he just turn around and go?
Headed.
Does he just turn around and go, look, I'm going to trust the guys that I built the company around to start
with. Fairness,
we had an amazing year. We had some amazing memories, and we'll leave it there.
He wasn't the right though. It was the literal Dynamite go home show before the last pay-per-view, and Hangman went into business for himself. Punk kept quiet, in fairness to him, because he knew he didn't want to spoil the pay-per-view. Again, old head, we'll do it afterwards. And then he got injured, so obviously they couldn't get the receipt across. And then I just see in my head, I can't imagine Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks knocking on anyone's door and threatening to beat the shit out of them.
You say that Hangman went into business for himself. Like, I think that's a line that he's come out with, but I don't know if that's necessarily true. Like, when I didn't. Okay, did the promo ever go out? Like, I don't remember it.
Yeah, it's a promo in the ring, and he starts saying that I'm just going to save AEW from you. You are a cancer on this company. I'm saving this company from you.
But he's building a match, right? Like, it's not what he's saying to him personally. He's building a match against him. Like, this is the problem when you don't, if you don't script promos tightly, you give people a live mic and they go out and say something. Like, did he have the conversation with him backstage? Like, who knows? But it's the same thing that happened with Kingston and Guevara. Like, there's lines to be drawn, but obviously there was a line to be drawn where, like, no one was ever to mention Colt Cabana, because if MJF could have used that, he would have used that. I guarantee you that. If he could have dropped the word Colt Cabana in any promo when they were having their feud, he would have done, and he didn't. And that to me was a sign, right, that's off the table. But I don't think anything Hangman said was like going into business for himself.
That was a week of, I think that was the week where he was moved to Ring of Honor, and he alluded to it in the promo, like, you've come in and there you go, because he talks about Punk being a fan of workers' rights, right? And you're trying to get rid of people and you're trying to fire people. And then Punk has heard from journalists in the wrestling business that the Bucks and Kenny have been feeding them stories of Punk trying to get rid of people.
But that doesn't make sense either, because all the biggest names in the journalist industry, your Sean Ross, that's Brian Alvarez's, Big Dave, like, Dave will come out and said
the Lissy Almeida
conversations with
they're all big mates with Kenny in the Bucks, aren't they?
Maybe they've been speaking to Lissy, but, like, the big three.
Everyone slides into Lissy's DMs,
I don't know, guys.
They're all saying that it wasn't, and I think if it was the Bucks, I don't think that they would come out and demonstrably lie. They've got big reputations to protect these guys, like the likes of Alvarez and Meltzer and Sean Ross. Like, if it was true, I think they just wouldn't say anything. Like, there we go. We don't reveal our sources. When they come out and factually say we did not speak to any of those guys, then I tend to believe them.
JJ, if you're Tony Khan, how do you resolve this situation?
Get rid of Punk. Put your faith in the guys that you built the company around. Look, there's enough stars. They don't need Punk. They didn't need Punk to be getting like +1 million beating Raw in the demo over a year ago before he was there. Amazing when he came back. Everyone was buzzing about it, but did it ever get bigger than that pop when he came back? I don't think it did. Like, he had some good matches, but he's not the wrestler that he was like 10 years ago. No offense, like, I'm not saying I didn't enjoy his matches, but he's not even in the top 5 workers in the company.
Guys, I think
He's not the best on the mic. That's MJF. And there's others that are very good. Like he is a star name, and but did he move the needle? Like, yeah, for that pop when he came in, he did. And I'm sure for winning the title, they've got a lot of pay-per-view buys. But like,
yeah, but guys,
what more can he do? He's won the title. Like, what else are they going to do with him? Like, is he going to put other people over? You've got Danielson that can put people over, Jericho that can put people over, Omega. There's so many huge names that can put people over.
No.
I'm
JJ,
not saying I don't love
you're
Punk.
right.
You know I was buzzing, but like, you cannot
No, but
have.
you're right.
But guys, we've seen before. You can't have egos like that in the dressing room, fucking things up for everyone else.
One small thing we need to just. This is the only thing I'm going to address with the whole situation. It's the same root cause. Okay, he didn't like the management in WWE because he didn't like Triple H, and he didn't like all his boys and all the cliquey business and stuff like that. It's the same shit. You're gonna find that everywhere you go. He's not gonna be happy unless he's like the big man, you know, back in the dressing room and calling the shots back there. And he's not. He wasn't in WWE. He's definitely not in AEW. And I think that is a big part of like why he's pissed off.
There was one thing that was very noticeable when he did the presses. Tremendous. And I'm not a fan of the Young Bucks. They should have been headlining that main event, dropping the titles to FTR, but that's a different story. They wanted to make new belts and win them with his friends, so never mind. He says, like, he goes on a rant and he talks about how man going to business, and he goes, I'm trying to run a fucking goddamn business here. And he sat next to the owner of the company, who's the booker, and he's just said, I'm trying to run a goddamn fucking business here. The weird thing is, out of all of that, listen, you know this, if you are on a conference call and you go into a 40-minute rant with the boss, and he doesn't say anything, like, Paul, first of all, you wouldn't do that in the first place unless you presumably felt protected. But Tony says nothing. Just you're going too far now.
In the headlights.
Just calm down. Have a fucking word. Stop it. He doesn't stop him once.
Tony just looked like he was lost.
I'm not gonna take this shit anymore.
If I was a betting man, which
you are,
are
you a Greg Campbell tenor? Sorry, Greg, if you're watching.
I would be betting on if there was a line 0 matches, 1 match, 2 or more matches, I would be betting on 0 matches for CM Punk.
I wouldn't. I think he'll come back. I think he signed a 3-year contract, maybe 2-year contract. I think the Bucks and Kenny will come back in the next 6 weeks. Then, the trios titles are already worthless. The champs got beat last week, and not even first defense. But I think they come back. I think Punk will come back and do something with MJF when he's champion. I think MJF will. I can't wait for MJF to just be the face of the company and be the heel champion. That, again, listen, I come from an 80s era of Crockett, right? And even in Danielson was a heel in Ring of Honor. Heel champions draw money because you want to see them beat. Look at Kenny. Look at Jericho. Babyface champions don't draw money.
We've got a 30-minute match to watch. Should we get into it?
Have you got another bottle there? Are you running out of replenishments?
No, I've got a full bottle. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about me.
Don't worry about it.
Are you still in holiday mode until Tuesday?
Who?
Governor.
God bless. God save the Queen. I'm giving you an extra day off. What a woman.
Long live the king.
The king is dead. God save the king. Yeah. As JJ alluded to there, we're going to watch. This is a year ago since AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. It was, I want to say, 2 a.m. here. And I stayed up for it, and I was buzzing off my tits. So if you are going to watch with us, international viewers, apart from Lissy, it's kind of British, but it's AEW Dynamite episode 3821. 3821, and that's the Dynamite from the 23rd of September 2021. And we're going to click play in 3.
Hold on. If you're US, just search Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega Grand Slam. You can find the video somewhere.
Figure it out.
Put a link in the comments. I'll do that because these two don't help out Thanks, Lissy.
You haven't got a job. You can do this full time.
I've got surgery. I'm a professional cripple. We're going to click play in 3, 2, 1. I'm a professional supplier of the world's best Christmas jumpers you'll ever find.
I'll wait for my cue.
Do you remember when Danielson came out in exclusively white t-shirts? What happened to that? It went nowhere.
Don't know what to say,
He
mate.
can do whatever he wants. He was such a little vibe when he first came back.
The head down.
Quite interesting watching this opening to Dynamite and seeing the faces that are big here. It's going to be interesting to see when they run through all the matches. I think the Pillman brothers were in here somewhere, and this was just after CM Punk obviously returned. I think before his match against Darby Allin. I'm not sure. I think his match against Darby Allin was on the Rampage, right?
You have such a good
Maybe.
memory.
I'm not sure. I don't know. Can't remember. It's only a year ago. Usually we talk about stuff that was like 20, 30, 40 years ago. And
Right.
just reels it off like an encyclopedia. Cody Rhodes versus Malachi Black, neither of which will be seen again in AEW anytime soon.
Do you think we'll be seeing Mr. Black back over at the big company?
One Triple H's boys, isn't it? Absolutely.
Maybe. Let's see.
You gotta remember, that's how that's how Kevin Nash got released out of his WCW contract as Vinny Vegas. He said, I'm just done with the business, brother. That's me. I can't be bothered with it anymore.
But give you the nod, Lissy, but Bryan Danielson's just coming out now.
Thank you.
Just steps out in his red trunks. There he is.
Danielson's in great condition here as well, wasn't he? Oh, God, I love that
I love
burgundy.
this guy. Do you know what I really remember from this Grand Slam is that like they really did make it feel like a big arena, it looks different to their normal kind of Dynamites, you know, which I don't think they do enough. I don't even think they do enough with a lot of the pay-per-views.
There was a point that Sidgwick made on a What Culture podcast where this was at the time where they've changed it now. There was no lighting on the crowd at all. So there's 20,000 people here, and yet the lights are only on the ring as opposed to the actual.
You don't
arena,
even know.
which
You
is
don't even
is
know.
a massive fuck up for production wise. But
Can I say go on, sorry.
No, I was just saying, like, I love the fact when the crowds, because generally AEW crowds are quite boisterous and lively, and they have signs, and you should celebrate that. As a wrestling fan, you want to watch the show and think, I want to be there.
Yeah.
Not too many signs for much longer if they keep going.
When they did it at Daily's place, they always made a big deal of that, like always made clear like how good the crowd looks with lighting them up.
Yeah.
I love this kind of interest. Like when he was champion, it felt big time.
The few that Justin Roberts has done for his comeback, which obviously we won't see it anytime soon, they've been so good.
Kevin,
God, it's all he could afford.
Whereas again, me and Lissy are two huge Bobby the Brain Heenan fans.
The
Bobby
crowd
would have
so hot and they've
sequence.
not even done anything. They just rang the bell.
That's why I remember from this a minute of just the crowd going bananas.
Bryan can't hide his smile, but Kenny's just like, I'm going to kill you, you son of a bitch.
And it's at the point, Bobby Heenan's wardrobe was always unbelievable.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you've got to
His
remember,
jackets.
like, Bryan must have thought about this match for so long. When he was in WWE, he was like, God, there's so many amazing people out there I want to wrestle. And like having this in a huge stadium in New York, like, he just can't help but smile, can he?
You have to.
Yeah.
I mean, also, he had just come out of his time with
Retirement.
WWE.
And he'd just been retired like 3 years earlier.
Right. Retired due to injury, comes back, had a less than spectacular last couple years in WWE. Maybe he is happy with the way that he left, but I mean, I don't necessarily feel like he left like on top. And this was kind of like a new chapter for him for his career, right? He's on his man's like on his like fourth career at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there must have been times when he thought that he was never going to have any matches like this.
Yeah.
And that again, that's another thing from his Ring of Honor run. You're gonna get your fucking head kicked in, which he learned from a trip to the UK. He did a tour that Regal put him on in 2004, and said, "These football fans just were chanting at each other. You're gonna get your fucking head kicked in. What's wrong with these people?" But I thought I'm gonna use this. These English people seem really weird.
Looking at these two, obviously, you think about the best wrestlers in the world right now. The PWI 500 has just come out.
Roman was a deserving winner, by the way.
Correct.
What?
Yeah.
He said Roman was a deserving winner of the PWI 500. And people are talking about Moxley not being in the top 10. But, I mean, he's had a phenomenal run. I don't know exactly when the dates were, but obviously he was in
July to July.
Like,
so July 2021 to July 2022.
Right. So it misses like most of his title run just here, and he was in rehab for a good few months of it. So no one's taking anything away from Moxley. You know, we all love him on here, but you know, it is what it is. But thinking about who might be at the top of it next year, and I think based on how he's done since Triple H has took over, you've got to give a big shout for Chad Gable, haven't you? I mean, that comeback match with Johnny Gargano, who was the star really? I know he lost, but Chad Gable.
I really just like.
It will be MJF, but okay.
Where you were going with it, and then we arrived so quickly.
That's what she said.
But genuinely though, like he has been given the he's already got himself over with the shoosh, right? That's good at all of itself. But like he is having some phenomenal matches and he's getting tired. Like they went a good 13-14 minutes, Gargano and Chad Gable, and that match was amazing. I think the week before he had a tag match against the Street Profits, was an amazing match. Like every match is just a banger, man.
Johnny Gargano.
Nice that we're getting actual wrestling matches as well back on WWE, not just matches that end in a
How tall is Johnny Gargano? 5'3", 5'4"?
Fuck knows. Yeah. We can find out. But I'm busy watching a match. I don't want to be Googling stuff, you know.
Yeah.
I just can't buy him as a credible professional wrestler. I'm sorry. Tell me Jonathan Gresham was like 5'4", right? Just when you put him next to Claudio, like, come on. By the way, Claudio, again, Dax Howard, what a year. Great banger. I actually watched Rampage for the first time in about 3 months to watch that match last week.
That's time in about 3 months. I haven't watched this week's Dynamite. Yeah, I was on holiday with the family, so I haven't had a chance to catch up with watching wrestling. Obviously, I followed the results and stuff.
The last 2 weeks have been brilliant because they've been so basic in the nicest possible way, rather than just a million run-ins and angles, and just put some guys having like classic 25-minute matches out there. Lovely.
Yeah. And we don't need a ladder match or like a lot of blood or all
Outlaw,
that.
Mudjaw, yeah.
We can just have good wrestling. I don't mind seeing that ever.
I forget what we discussed off air and on air. Did we say who we think is going to win between Moxley and Danielson? The date, I mean, this is going to go out on the day of Grand Slam. So for you fans that have got your notifications on as soon as we get an episode out, you know, the 6 of you.
Lissy stands. I think Danielson wins.
Population 3.
You think Danielson wins?
I hope.
Agree.
I think Danielson has to win. I think if Moxley wins and then he loses the title, I know he's bulletproof, but it just looks really bad if he's lost the title.
We did that conversation.
Yeah, but I mean, I'd love again from a midlife crisis perspective. If Danielson goes back to 2005, 2006, Danielson, man, I'll be in heaven.
Is this your midlife crisis or his midlife crisis?
My midlife crisis. He's fine. He's rocking the beard. He's got the top knot. Good luck.
Yeah, he's doing all right.
He's doing all right.
It would be interesting to see like his reaction. Like, I'm the only one in the BCC that's not held a title here. Like, I keep getting these big matches. No, Moxley has Danielson.
Danielson, if he loses, I'm saying,
right. If he loses, right, Yu's had the pure title. Moxley's the world champion. Claudio's the ROH world champion. I just can't get over the line in these big matches. I couldn't beat Hangman. I couldn't beat Omega. I couldn't beat Moxley.
Do you give Jericho any chance against Claudio on Wednesday?
He's got a chance, obviously.
If you are launching Ring of Honor for a TV deal, and you've got Jericho as the Ring of Honor world champion, not a bad idea. Oh my god, Jericho and FTR as the champs.
But the thing is,
it just takes away from. It's not the same ROH. Yeah. Let me shut up. Go ahead.
You are
right.
ROH is a different show to AEW. If they get a TV deal, it's a different show, right? Like they need to have that uniqueness about them, and I think that the uniqueness that ROH has is like incredible wrestling. And Claudio versus what Chris Jericho is right now, he's even branding himself as a sports entertainer, whereas Claudio is just a worker's worker, right? Same as FTR are. And and you've got the pure title, Daniel Garcia. He's obviously part of with Chris Jericho, but that doesn't take away from my point, I don't think, because he is fighting against it because he is a worker's worker. And I think if you want to keep that uniqueness about ROH and have a different angle on it and retain those ROH fans and what they loved ROH for, then you have Claudio. Because he's got that history with ROH, which Jericho doesn't have, and they all love him. I mean, everyone who's a wrestling fan loves Claudio. Yeah.
But it's like, do you want to? I can't. I feel foolish making this comparison, but just follow me here.
There's a macho man look-alike in the background here, by the way. Tremendous. Try and spot him. Go on, Lissy.
I hate to make this comparison, but just follow me, okay? Because it's gonna be hurtful. So, do you remember when they relaunched ECW as a third brand?
I got so excited. That's when Punk came back. Punk went to the main roster. Yeah.
Yes.
Kurt Angle came across. Yeah.
Yeah, so they brought in all of or not all, but the more known ECW originals, right?
The ones they could get.
Only got a contract. Sabu, Tommy Dreamer.
With folks that were up and coming and stuff like that.
Mike Knox,
And then maybe within a month or two,
they were all gone.
So if history's going to repeat itself, I can see, the legacy ROH folks coming in and doing a show and then kind of getting that spillover from the bloated AEW roster.
Bruce Pritchard always calls it that Hulk dust. So if you've got a big baby face that they were trying to build, get him in an angle next to Hulk or stand next to Hulk and stand next to him, like, oh, wow, he stood next to Hulk. It's like, he must be a big deal. Mm-hmm. Like they're trying to use AEW to try to bring up ROH, but it's so mixed at the minute. It's like the brand split, right? Just keep them separate. If you're
got to be so careful with it. It's got to be like an NXT, and it's got to have a unique feel to it that brings people to it and you can't just go, just have Jericho over there, just have X star, Y star, Z star. They've got to have that uniqueness and build their own stars, which is what NXT did so successfully.
Yeah,
and it doesn't necessarily need to be a feeder; it can be a separate thing. And even towards the end of NXT Black and Gold, you have people like Ciampa, like Gargano, who are almost like, I don't want to go to the main roster. Like, I'm good here. Like, I love it here, and this is good. And you would have people who maybe lapsed WWE fans or WWE fans who become disillusioned with the product, who go, I just watch the takeovers and I just watch an hour of NXT every week on the WWE network. I don't even really watch Raw and SmackDown that much anymore. That was me. Like, I barely made I couldn't sit through 3 hours of Raw at that time. And I rarely got 2 hours to watch SmackDown. I keep up with what was going on because I'm a wrestling fan, but I would always try and make time for that hour of NXT on a Wednesday night or a Thursday morning. And when there was a takeover on, you knew you were going to get an amazing show, and I would always tune in for it.
Well said, my friend. That's why I said, Are they going to do NXT or ECW? Very risky.
Mm.
If you are watching with us at home, we are currently on 14, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25 on the 23rd of September 2021 episode of Dynamite 3821 if you're looking for the suffix on Fight TV.
Hey, I'm sorry. We're having a cat emergency right now.
What's the cat emergency?
There's no cat emergency. She's trying to jump on my lap, but she's too scared to do it.
The claws came out.
So we're going to put down there 14:30 to try to get that a clip of Lissy's face.
Because she was trying to ramp herself up to do it, and I'm like, you saw I'm scared because it's happened many times. Fucking A.
Jack, when are you starting the No Context Lissy Twitter account? Because obviously,
we have a library.
she's ring announcing for CCW now, but we know there's bigger things just around the corner. So
stop it. Get ahead of it.
Get a few followers now, but imagine
she's
when
been offered a train ticket to a flight to Connecticut. Yeah.
Obviously, we know Survivor Series is in Boston. They must be having a look and seeing who the local talent is.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall.
One fall.
Stop.
Will you stop?
Listen, Lissy, for your first show in WWE, you best get us like backstage passes and fights over.
God, you guys, please. I'll be lucky. I'll be lucky if they keep me on where I'm working right now. Okay.
Well, I
love you.
Great clothesline, Danielson.
Kenny, please.
His chest is lit up, by the way. What are we into this match?
16:40,
I'd say 16:15 for the program, but probably.
I
like
literally did a time
in.
check 2 minutes ago, so JJ's
No, I
obviously
know, but
had a few glasses of wine this evening.
The match didn't start when the show started, Jackie.
That's very true. By the way, I did my good deed for the weekend and met Mr. Alex Martin earlier with his ball and his pregnancy vitamins.
Good man. That will be a thing that absolutely zero people watching.
JJ, we've all been in a similar position where we've probably asked to do something, forgot, and have a very pregnant hormonal missus at home that you don't want to poke the bear.
Don't piss her off.
Do you know what's funny? Speaking of local people in and around Gib, where we live, Gibraltar, the tiny little piece of land at the bottom.
It's now a city, officially a city, as of the Queen's decree.
I have a group of friends that mostly live around here who I have a WhatsApp wrestling chat with. Sure, we've all got it. The few of our friends.
I'm not involved in this, Lissy. I'm not cool enough.
Jack's not involved. Jack's never asked. Just get some bets, and it's mostly like a wrestling betting chat, and it's really mainly AEW. Like none of them really watch WWE, even though some of them keep up with it. But anyway, so one of the guys knows that I do a podcast. YouTube show, whatever you want to call it, tunes in occasionally. But one of the people in the group I've never met, only knows me from my WhatsApp picture. Me and the guy that know about the show were joking about it and talking about something, and then he looked it up and like, there's a guy called John Jacobs on this. How weird. And we're like, yeah.
It's him.
But he's like, it was like a good 15-20 minutes. He thought we were trolling him, like saying that it was me. He was like, I'm looking at your WhatsApp picture. I'm looking at a guy in this video. I'm pretty sure it's not you.
I don't even know what your WhatsApp photo is, to be honest.
It's not this John Jacobs.
It was from the year when I wasn't drinking, so I'm probably about 10 pounds lighter and looking a lot healthier. I said, well, have I really put on that much weight in the last 18 months? Evidently, yeah.
I bumped into Alex earlier and I said, I think you've lost some weight because I've just come back from a week of being in London. I've actually just put about half a stone on. But thanks, Jim. I know you mean well.
You reminded me, how much is a stone?
£7, 3
kilos.
£14.
14 pounds is a stone.
Oh, sorry, okay. Yeah, I have half
14.
A stone. £7.
Okay.
Carol Muir like shouting. Tap. God, I used to love that. Oh, that was easily my favourite move in wrestling. Easy. The first time I saw that, I popped my tits off. That looks phenomenal. That and the Regalplex is, oh my god.
These two just couldn't have a bad match.
Betting update on my ongoing AEW betting. So it was going really well last month. We agreed to settle at the end of the last pay-per-view. Bryan
How much did he owe you?
No, Bryan Danielson losing to Chris Jericho was a big swing for me. I had a fourfold, which was relying on Danielson winning, and that fell. That was I think £100 odds on fourfold to win about 275 or something. Plus I had a decent amount of money on Danielson as well, and also had like a specials bet.
I couldn't see him losing, to be fair. It made no sense. Unless you were going to have the match afterwards, but no one could have predicted that.
Yeah,
he's got very lucky there, TK.
Yeah, that was a big swing for me.
Yeah, used to big swings. You play high stakes poker.
Ended up not a big, but yeah, in terms of the stakes.
You still made profit.
No, I ended up sending him.
Really?
And then,
and then I had well done, Greg. Merry
And then
Christmas.
I bet on Wheeler Yuta to beat Daniel Garcia, a loser.
In his hometown.
I just didn't see it coming. And then I bet on Best Friends in the trios tournament. Well, the trios, whatever you call it, the vacated title. Best Friends to beat Penta and
It's
Phoenix
funny
and Pac.
Who's Greg's
because
missus, by the way? I think she might be.
Sorry?
I think who's Greg's missus? Do you know her?
We can discuss this off camera.
All right. Talk this other time. I think she's been helping me with my surgery, but
Oh, really?
oh, that big knee! I remember seeing this at the time, thinking, "Fucking hell, he's killed him."
what was I about to say? I don't even remember. You guys were speaking gambling.
Look
I
at
don't
the
gambling.
selling from Danielson. It's like he's just been killed, and shoves him off. Get down there.
But when I've been the one creating markets a few times that's happened, I've done quite well. There was a market on when Kenny Omega would return, and they were all confident that it would happen, not all out, but at the pay-per-view before, because of all the stuff on BTE about what was it? I can't remember. But anyway, there was stuff on BTE that was alluding to him coming back at the pay-per-view before, and obviously he didn't, so I won big on that. And then also had a market on when Wardlow would lose his TNT title, and a lot of the bets were on
I don't think
now, and it obviously hasn't happened yet. So
I don't think he loses that this year.
do you not?
No,
Are you guys happy with Wardlow right now?
he's been booked shit after MJF, but like, why is he teaming with FTR? It makes no sense. He's a killer.
No, he was
He's
with
he's
them and MJF in a stable.
No,
Of course it makes sense.
he's a man mountain. He's a
He's a
big guy.
killer.
Doesn't need other people to be teaming with. FTR haven't wrestled on Dynamite for 4 fucking months. They are literally world tag team champions of 3 different companies right now. They haven't wrestled on Dynamite in 4 months. What are you doing, Tony? What are you
Tony.
doing? Get your head out of the coke and look at what's right in front of you. Don't put the
Not
4
the
fingers up,
coke.
Lissy. They should be horsemen, but they're not.
No,
Simon-
I was gonna start saying 4 fucking months. You
What's that?
get your head off the
That
go.
was West Indian. 4 fucking months, I'd be waiting for.
I give up. I'm done. I'm not asking any more questions.
I'm not going to ask to do any more British accents. How was your time in London anyway, Lissy?
It was good.
Tell me you don't want to talk about something without telling me you don't want to talk about something. It was great. Thank you for asking. Anyway, look at this match we're watching. Don Calais suit.
I don't know what you're talking
Speaking
about.
of which, have you seen that Dax has just tweeted a screenshot of Arthur Ashe last
Great
year?
shits.
It was FTR versus Sting and Darby Allin, and
That was the match
now
that
they're not
turned
on
me.
the card.
That was the match that turned me around on FTR.
Really?
Yeah, really. I was really, because they had the tag titles right, then they lost to the Bucks. Did they lose to the Bucks at this pay-per-view last year, All Out? And then I was like, they had that really weird run after beating Hangman and Kenny in the summer where there was no fans, right? COVID.
Yeah.
And then that match with Sting and Darby, they made Sting look like an absolute killer at 62. Like, okay, they know what they're doing. And that was when
He is an absolute killer.
And then I fell in love with Dax Howard.
And it's been
All's been right ever since.
The thing is, honestly, like
a romance for the ages.
Hey, I was right. I replied on his little thing saying, "Dax, 4 months and Dynamite. He goes, "I miss you too, buddy." I'm like, oh, thanks, mate.
He's so witty and funny.
Yeah.
Oh, friend.
I'm doing this. I'm somewhere with your wrestling WhatsApp group.
He got obviously I've always liked them, but I thought he was so funny when he called out Harlem Heat and he's like, Booker T, you won't ask your daddy, Vince McMahon. And I was like, oh shit. Didn't see that one coming.
I've only just realized in the past few months, good Lord. Oh no, I've just pressed something. How good looking Cash Wheeler is. The man could be a babyface world champion.
Oh yeah.
JJ, give us a time check for people watching with us.
Yeah.
We are at 25, 16, 17, 18.
Danielson's about to have his head taken off,
in the
isn't
corner. About to get his head kicked.
Look at
in.
You should
Macho
see a
Man.
Macho
Look at
Man head.
He's trying really hard to get himself over.
You don't dress like that unless you want to be noticed, do you?
You don't dress like that unless you're a massive dick trying to get attention for yourself at a wrestling show of all places.
Anyway, speaking on tag teams, what do we
This is just
reckon?
like a wrestler.
Acclaimed to beat Swerve in Our Glory?
Acclaim should be 2's on. Acclaimed Swerve No Glory 6-4. If I'm pricing it up, put it in your group,
Scissor me.
JJ.
Who's on?
Scissor
Hold
me.
on, I'll tell you that
Scissor me,
Come on,
daddy.
Jack.
I can
You
tell
know
you the
what?
current prices as it
Can
goes.
you imagine him trying to explain that to Vince McMahon if he was in the WWE?
What?
So Max, what does scissor me mean?
Yeah.
Jack, do you want to know the current match prices?
I
As
do.
per Greggy Bet.
Greggy bet.
Swerve in Our Glory 6-4. Acclaimed 1-2. You called it.
I'm in the right
You
business,
could be in the
baby.
street making some prices.
2's on 6-4. It seems fine. They will. I think they will. Everything has fallen right for them. Again, timing's everything. They have the right momentum. It's the right location. One of Keith Lee or Swerve will turn on the other, and then you've got their feud coming up.
Swerve,
And they have
Swerve should be the heel. Swerve
And they've
is
laid the ground.
phenomenal heel and a phenomenal talent. And Keith Lee's just a babyface.
Keith Lee's
listen,
so the thing
is, right, so Acclaim to win the title, right? It's not going to be as good a match as the first match. It's hard to match what they did.
Love super.
And where do they go next? Like who are the heel tag team that they go up against?
I think they've done a good job at, first of all, we know they just threw together Swerve and Keith Lee, fine, whatever, cool. And they've done, good at like building their storyline for them to feud. But like, these guys just kind of like walked on and it was like, oh, you're next. So I really don't know. Plus, like, you have people that were tag teams that are kind of branched off into like the trios area. So it's kind of like we really need to make sure that we protect the tag team belts. Let's see how we do.
Regal Plex. Oh, look at the snap on that thing.
Thing is with the Acclaim,
that Regal
right?
Plex is such a thing of beauty.
Like
my God.
A heel tag team that I think they could go with now that Malachi Black's probably gone is like the House of Black. But can you see the Acclaimed legitimately being enough to beat Brody King and Buddy Matthews? Like, if you're just looking at the two tag teams, the Acclaimed are super over, but are they good enough to go on?
In the words of the late great Bobby Heenan, they don't have to beat them. The House of Black has to beat the Acclaimed.
True.
There's a great Arn Anderson promo that going, we are the incumbents. We don't have to lose anything. We are the people who lay our credentials on every night of the week. And as you know, incumbents are a hell of a lot harder to get rid of than the.
This is the official tag team ranking as of August 31st.
Let's go.
Which is the last time it was updated. It's not been updated since things have happened. Obviously, Swerve in Our Glory, the champions.
Since the Elite ruined the company,
Number one, as they have been for about 4, 5, 6 months at FTR. Number 2, the Acclaimed, who we think
why don't
will
FTR have a title shot? Why don't FTR?
Number 3, Young Bucks, not there. Number 4 is 10 and Evil Uno.
Hardly Boys.
Who are faces and not good enough. And number 5 is the Guns, who they've already had a massive feud with, and who are now part of the firm and probably not looking at tag team titles.
Why would they not be looking at tag team titles?
Guns, right?
They stole their dad.
Yeah. So who is there as a heel tag team to take them on? The Trustbusters? Fuck that. Like, what's the
Who's that?
Who the Trustbusters?
What's the Trustbusters? Have I said the name wrong, or
is that a joke? I don't understand.
What do you mean?
Who are the Trustbusters?
Is this a bit, or
no? I'm
if I said I'm googling it now because I'm scared.
Who are the two individual people?
Am I being really retarded here? Can you say the word retarded anymore?
Well, they were in the trios tournament.
I don't watch trios wrestling. Sorry.
Ari Daivari, Slim J, Parker Boudreaux, and they've got Sonny Kiss in there as well. So
and their name are the Dustbusters?
Never heard of them.
Trustbusters. you kidding me?
No.
They were in the trios
I
tournament.
don't watch trios wrestling. I've not watched any of it. I think it's shite.
Okay, fair enough.
That's all.
I didn't watch the
Anyway.
Bucks and Kenny against
Parker Boudreaux is the
he
guy
right.
who was in
I
NXT.
have heard about him.
Oh.
He's the new guy who's very good looking but very green, right?
Yeah,
And
he
he's
was
been
like
sent
billed as
he's
the
been
next
sent back down
Brock
to dark.
Lesnar.
Right,
He was
he's got,
billed as the next Brock Lesnar
Harland.
when he was in NXT.
I don't
He
watch
was
NXT.
Harland.
And we know who Ari Daivari is, right?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, Daivari. Tack. Do you know what is wrestling?
Not bad at
Jack.
wrestling. No.
Just
All right. Anyway, that's what I
I
mean.
know.
Okay.
I watched good wrestling from the 80s and the 90s. That's why we're on this
proves my
podcast.
point. Who are the heel tag team that is going to be the next feud? Like, who's there? Can you name
It'll
one?
be the ass boys to keep them ticking, right?
They've done that. They've done it to death.
You know, there are two guys who could come in and be very, very good. Jay and Matt,
What?
the Briscoes.
Oh, Briscoe.
Them boys.
Um,
Can you
I
go
guess
for a
two-
Munso?
Do you know what? 2.0 are an amazing duo. I think they would be a fun. I mean, that's my best shout.
As somebody awaiting knee surgery right now, that did not look good on Kenny's knees.
Mm.
That's like a reverse 450 almost. Not Dragon's
Jack,
face.
how is your knee, mate?
It's knackered, and I've got a full torn meniscus.
Can you walk on it? How are you moving at the minute?
I'm all right. Well, again, we have a 1-year-old, right? There's no way I can lay down and just sit on my ass for 2 weeks. It's just not. There is adulting that needs to be done, and I've got crutches and I've got painkillers, so it's fine.
But crutches and a pram seems like a difficult thing to maneuver.
I've been taking him to nursery, and the way with the pram is, it's kind of like there's a hole at the bottom, so I've been able to slide the crutch underneath, and I can wheel him to nursery and then use the one crutch to get home. So
That's a true dad.
Trying to
Hang in there.
Try and do what's best for everyone.
And
You're
Lissy, how was
doing
your week
amazing.
as being a I don't know, surrogate parent for a few days?
My week?
Yeah.
You mean? I don't even know.
Cool and listed.
living our life for a few days.
Can I tell you, like, I don't know if I have what it takes to do it full time. It's just
so much easier than to come in flying for a couple of days with the cool
It's
and
just
our uncle
so
and then
hard.
fuck off. Yeah.
But you
Let's
know
do
what
it.
I think though? I really have been thinking about this. I feel like when you are a parent, you have some ramp up time, right? Like whereas when
What do you mean by ramp up time?
no, like you don't
Paycheck.
just wake up with an 18-month-old and that is you don't know their patterns or like what they want and what they like and like all that other stuff. So like my nephew is 8 weeks. He's easy because like he either needs to eat.
He looks like an old man already.
He you know who he looks like? He looks like my dad. So
he looks like a guy like I usually come in there betting show.
He's just
I've never seen your dad, but I thought the way that you described your dad and the picture of him on the plane where you were over it, I was like, yeah, I think that's Lucy's dad.
That's
I wanted
him.
him to have like a grey flat cap and like a walking stick, and I thought he looks
just like him, same face, same skin tone, everything. Like he came 100% my dad. And then my niece is 18 months and like she just
match
like
is
she
over,
just
by the way.
acted.
Sorry.
Oh, the match is over. Yeah. But don't know if I could do it every day. Cheers to you guys though. You're the real heroes.
We got wine, that's all we need.
Wine and cocoa melon.
The super click. Let's track this.
Jungle Jack Perry. Jungle Boy Jack Perry.
I'm not Jungle Boy anymore. I'm Jack
but,
Perry.
but the last show they just called him Jungle Boy. They didn't say Jack Perry like once. I don't know what's going on. Like they went through a little bit of a phase where he's now Jack Perry, and then they just went back to Jungle Boy last time. Even on like his nameplate, the week before it was Jungle Boy Jack Perry. This time it was just Jungle Boy. I don't know what's going on.
Figure it out, people.
At least if WWE make a bad decision about a name, they stick with it, right? Like,
well, Jim Ross spent a lot of time. He would always call him Jungle Boy Jack Perry, and seemed to like be wanting to consciously put on, make a massive effort to try to call him that.
Yeah,
because knowing that you'll have to get rid of the name Jungle Boy eventually.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can't believe that was. I still can't believe that was a year ago.
Anyway, that is that. Look, if you're watching along on Fight and you want to watch the rest of the episode, I'm not going to tell you not to. But that's all we're recording. We've done done a good hour of content for you there, chatting away for 20 minutes of a 30-minute match.
Sorry.
No, look,
sorry.
We've been away for a while and a fucking shitload has happened, doesn't it? So, what are we doing next week, Jack?
Well, darling, we are going to watch WWE In Your House. I can't watch it in Your House 18, which is Bad Blood, which is one of my most favorite pay-per-views. It's a really WWE 1997 pay-per-view. I think you've got Bret Hart and the Patriot in I want to say in a flag match. Bret was champion here.
Jack, can you please get information, Jack?
He was very anti-American at this time. And who can blame him 25 years later?
He's by the way, not getting it, John. He's not getting it.
Okay, no, we're listening intently to him.
Congratulations, Bret, being inducted into the Canada Walk of Fame in the week. But we're going to look at Shawn Michaels versus The Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, the debut of the most famous cell in wrestling. What the hell was that noise? It sounded like a dog growling.
Her microphone fucked up at the perfect moment.
Yeah. You know that's how they say it. Like, I'll see you in hell.
Yeah, but listen, but your microphone messed up, so it just sounded like a dog chewing on a wire.
Oh, sorry.
Does CCW have an equivalent that you can call out? I'll see you at this match is scheduled for 1 fall and it's in Rage in a Cage.
Penis in Uranus.
They just we actually had a show last month, I think was the last month, Kumite, where all the matches were in a cage.
Kumite?
Yeah.
What language is that?
Do you think I know? I think it's something with karate. I saw it the other day. I can't remember, but I'm pretty sure it's with
professionalism.
Gosh. Let me see. We have a casket match coming up later.
Yes.
Oh, a casket. Has there ever been a bad casket match? Come on.
Every one of them are awful.
Never been a bad one.
Damn, guys, I thought you were going to help me sell it a little bit.
Do you know what? The last Darby Allin casket match on AEW.
Oh my God, that casket was so cheap.
All right.
Do you remember that casket?
Do you know how much he's spending on Punk's contract? Come on.
It literally looked like it was made from cardboard.
I mean, it probably might
maybe
have been.
Plywood. Maybe plywood.
That's going to be taken out of it. I mean, in terms of casket matches, apart from Taker Goldust at In Your House Mind Games, which ended up in a massive clusterfuck. Take a Shawn Michaels coffin match. Take a Shawn Michaels Royal Rumble '98, and I was petrified because Kane came out and lit it on fire. They've just burned the Undertaker alive. Oh my God! I'm 10 years old. Give me some.
It's amazing, isn't it? Like, and do you know what? These moments that you feel when you're like 8, 9, 10 years old, when you're just getting into wrestling, understanding what's going on. And then if it hooks you, and here we are in our 30s, and we're still like
30s.
chasing that dragon, right? Where you just like,
chase the dragon.
I want to feel those moments again. Yeah. You know what I mean? You never will. I think the closest that I've come in No, I was going to say...
Never will.
No, but you won't. But I think like moments and matches and stuff, I think this era of AEW where you have Punk coming back and this match as well that we've just watched, I think those were close to me getting back to the sort of wide-eyed joy that you had watching wrestling as a child.
It's the giddiness.
From both sides of it. That's that pop from that huge moment, and which I think the CM Punk comeback, I think they did perfectly. And matches like this, like phenomenal.
Well, I was talking to one of my friends about this the other day. It's like, as an adult, it's so hard to just watch wrestling with the the eyes of a child the way that we used to.
The innocence,
because
right?
Yeah, like when you're a kid, you're not thinking about storyline. You're not thinking about like, oh, they're building this, they're setting this up, or this is why they're doing this. It's just you're just watching it for what it is on TV. So I try my best to watch it with that view every once in a while, but it's
I sometimes wish that like my kid was like 7 and I could just sit there with him and watch his reactions, like MJF being a dick, and just like see how he reacted. But I hope that
Sweet brother.
I honestly hope that he gets the joy out of it that I do, because it's going to be so fun. Like if he or she, either one of them or both of them or whatever, like get into it and start enjoying it, like I'm gonna love like sitting there and watching their reactions to stuff. I think that's gonna sort of bring me back to the joy that I had from it when I was a child.
To your
Yeah.
point there,
I hope
JJ.
I think we spoke at the beginning about has AEW gone backwards, and I think after watching that match and seeing like the state that they were in and thinking about where they're at now, yeah, I think the answer is a resounding yes, right?
Oh, and that was the reason for the question, because it was kind of
Mm.
almost led, knowing where they were at this point, you think they have to build on that momentum and go on such a trajectory, and it never happened. Why is
Yeah.
that? And who is ultimately to blame? The owner and the booker has to take ultimate accountability, but
Big T.
obviously they had the bad injuries, right? Danielson was out for 3 months, and then Adam Cole was out. They had a big
Without-
angle with the Elite and the Undisputed Era that went hit. So Bobby Fischer's gone.
Amazing
Kyle
without.
O'Reilly's having surgery.
Mhm.
Cards subject to change, right? Plans change, pal. But I mean, the last couple of weeks have shown that they can kind of pivot quite well, and that bodes well for their long-term future. But yeah, it is interesting what could have been if they have cashed in on, like you said, the buzz that this show had in particular. But we'll never know. But to your point there, JJ, what you said there about the wide-eyedness, yeah, this was the same. This was what I was feeling as even as late as being a teenager following Ring of Honor. It made you feel again, which is what wrestling is supposed to do. You're supposed to feel as opposed to think and think, well, why are they doing this? Well, obviously they've got this pay-per-view in 2 weeks. Get it there. But like I said, we're chasing the dragon. We're all trying to make those, trying to feel as happy as we once previously did.